What I thought I would do today is just get back to some of the questions that I was asked about my last two videos. I had a heap of people message me on Instagram, a few comments on the videos themselves, and I thought, fuck it. I don't know what to do for content, so I'll just talk about the things that I was asked. Firstly, I had people ask about the supplements that I mentioned in my last testosterone video. Yeah, look, just find them online on iHerb. In Australia, iHerb is pretty awesome. It doesn't take long. It's super cheap. Here in Thailand, it's a nightmare. It takes so long. Another thing about the supplements, I don't take those supplements. I'm obviously on TRT. So those are natural versions of things that I take. Look at these guys. Hello. So when you're on testosterone, like exogenous testosterone, you're going to have a higher level of free testosterone anyway, because your SHBG is going to be generally lower. So I don't really have to take boron. Having said that, I'm going to just add it and see. I'm going to add like 6 milligrams of boron a day and see, because I think my free testosterone is about 19 at the moment, which is not low, but it's not amazingly high either. From what I've read, most people on TRT get benefits when their free testosterone is about 25. So see what we can do there. DIM, I don't need to take either because I take a pharmaceutical for that is generally prescribed to men on TRT, and it just lowers the conversion of testosterone into estrogen. You have to be very careful with it though, because you don't want to lower your estrogen too much. You need estrogens for brain health, bone health, which is the big one for me. I don't want to go snapping a leg at Muay Thai. Yeah, estrogen's pretty important, so you don't want to crush it. But having said that, I don't think it's possible to do that with the natural supplement with DIM that I mentioned in the last video. I do take vitamin D3 and I also take iron. I take a few things actually. I also take, my favorite supplement is something called arginine and citrulline, and it's just for increased nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide basically allows your endothelial walls to relax. I believe that's how it works. So you just have a better blood flow, and better blood flow just means everything works better. There's high levels of citrulline in watermelon, and since I don't eat too many watermelons, I just take a supplement. I had a couple of people just say that they would like me to talk more about this topic. Stoked. I love this topic. Again, it's been such a huge influence in my life for the last year, so I'm happy to talk about what I know. I was also asked, Chris, do you actually tan your balls? I had a period in Chiang Mai where I had a balcony. It would just get direct sunlight until 11 a.m. in the morning, and I took full advantage of that and would lay out there naked. Now, there's studies behind that. You can Google sun directly on your chest and on your balls. Did I notice anything mind-blowing about that? No, but I don't think any of these one things are going to do much on their own. I think it's generally a combination of all the things that I mentioned in that video. Someone else asked me about visiting Chiang Mai. Why did I mention in the last video to not go there March or April? Because it's the burning season. The farmers burn all their crops, and Chiang Mai gets, well, the northern Thailand gets incredibly smoky. The air quality really just hits the skid. So most people, myself included, just pack up and go somewhere else. I like to come down south and check out the islands. I'm on Koh Phangan now, and it just, yeah, absolutely love it here. Someone else said, Chris, this is not discussed anywhere near enough. I agree. I don't think hormones are discussed anywhere near enough. They're definitely discussed a lot more when it comes to aging ladies. Like to get HRT when a lady turns, I don't know, 60 or whatever, and start replacing the estrogen into her system so that she feels better. That's a lot more socially acceptable, I believe, than TRT. I really do think we live in a very anti-go for it society. We live in a very like tall poppy syndrome. If you're Australian, you know what that means. And I think testosterone has become linked with that. So I think that's kind of why just generally raising your testosterone is not really ever seen as like, oh, you want to be healthier. It's always seen as like, oh, you want to be huge, muscly, aggressive, and a bit of a dick. A lot of people said, hey, why did you say naturally in the title? You're on TRT. No, I doubled my testosterone before I started TRT. So in Melbourne, I had my testosterone measured at 330 nanograms per deciliter. Soon after I arrived in Thailand, I had it tested again, and within, I think it was a few months, maybe 6 months, it had doubled. It had gone into the 606 to be exact. I started TRT 2 years after that, because I just didn't feel, you know, I don't think you should pay attention to numbers. I think you should pay attention to symptoms, because everyone is going to have a different level of healthy testosterone. Someone asked what kind of work I am doing in Thailand. I do SEO. I still do coaching sessions online, but for the most part, I build and rank websites. I might do a video on this in the future, like specifically what I do, but I do something called lead generation SEO. So I find a service that doesn't have too much competition. I build a website for that service. I rank it to the top of Google, and then I find someone to send those leads to, and they generally pay me either per lead or per month. That person's follow-up question was, how do you find clients? I just reach out to people. I look for businesses that I feel would benefit from my service, and I just send them an email. I had a couple of people mention to me that they want to start TRT, and some of those people were in their 20s, which is crazy. Don't start TRT in your 20s. I personally wouldn't even start TRT in my 30s. Hello. This guy. These look like legit dogs. Try and talk to them. Oh, they got chains around their neck. Oh, stop. Stop. Get back. Fuck off. You fuck off. Yeah, living in Thailand, especially down on the islands, you really need to learn quite quickly what to do with dogs. A lot of people run, like these street dogs here. Man, I've seen so many people attack just because they ran. I mean, having said that, you also have to be able to tell which dogs have fucking rabies. You know, you don't want to just be like, no, I'm going to stand my ground. If a dog's got rabies, he's going to chew your fucking leg off. I had an experience once where a rabid dog came at my bike, and I can tell you that this dog felt no pain. It took several kicks to get him off, and I mean, he's probably dead now because that was a few years ago, but mate, fucking terrifying moment, man. Someone else mentioned to me that they work in a very 40s male dominated niche, you know, place of work. And they said it's stunning to see the men's just struggling, just tired all the time. I feel that most men just kind of accept, like, yeah, you just get older and you feel like shit. Someone else brought up Prolactin with me, which I thought was cool. They were wondering how to lower Prolactin. The only supplement, again, natural supplement that I know that does this is called P5P. It's basically an activated version of B6. So vitamin B6, it's a more absorbable version of that. And I've read people getting symptom relief from high prolactin from, I think it was 200 milligrams a day. I've never taken P5P. However, it is in the mail. And I bought it from iHerb. Dude, I ordered them nearly a month ago and they're still not here. Someone else asked me why I left Melbourne to go to Thailand. I actually didn't leave Melbourne to go to Thailand. I left Melbourne to go to Mexico. I flew from Melbourne straight to Mexico. I stayed there for 2 months. Mexico City for 1 month and Playa del Carmen for another month. And I wanted to attend my friend's SEO conference that happens every year. So I went to that and then I just never left Thailand. So the reasons that I left Melbourne, one, I kept taking on clients when I was coaching and it was kind of burning me into the ground. There's only so much time you can hang out in bars before you start to lose your mind. The second reason was that I liked the idea of being a digital nomad. I liked the idea of living independent of location. So being able to live anywhere I liked. And the third reason, Melbourne just started to get super political, dude. There were marches every day in Melbourne and I don't know, the air had a charge to it. And that's why when all that shit went down with the Rona and all the, you know, I think it was the worst lockdowns in the world and there were fucking riots and protests and craziness. I wasn't actually at all surprised. I had someone else ask if I've been in full KP mode, which means full Koh Yang mode. So the island that I live on here in Thailand, well, that I am currently, kind of mecca for hippies. You know, if you're into alternative health, tantra, yoga especially. So I want to say no, I haven't been in full KP mode, but I mean, I haven't said that. Someone else told me that my thumbnail for the video sucked. You know who you are. Yeah, it did. I don't know. Look, for me, I'm such a procrastinator on the things that really will make a difference in my life. So I tend to do a bunch of other things around the thing that I should be doing. And look, every time I do a session, a consultation with someone, they always mention my videos. How did you find me? I was browsing YouTube. I found one of your videos. It just went through a few of them and I thought I'd do a session. That tells me what I need to focus on. I just need more videos out, so that's why I don't really give a shit about thumbnails at the moment. A lot of people ask me how life is in Thailand. I've covered this in a few videos. I did a video maybe 2 years ago giving advice if you do want to just pack your shit and move to somewhere like Thailand. You could maybe go and find that. But I love living here, man. I love living here. So that's it. That's a few of the questions I received about the last couple of videos. I'll think of something more specific to talk about next time. Hello. Hello. This dog's friendly. Well, I don't know if she's a street dog. So here in Thailand, these collars, if a dog's wearing a collar, it means basically someone's looking after it. Someone's feeding it. So it's kind of a notice to like, this dog's okay. I love street dogs here in Thailand. There's so many of them, especially on the islands. Again, you just have to be careful. You can't go walking up alleys, especially at night. Yeah, you'll get fucked up by some dogs. So I hope that was interesting. If nothing else, I'll think of something more specific to do a video on soon. If anyone has any requests, feel free to message me. Yeah, I hope you're having a sick day wherever you are.